So kudos to her that says we need this. What happens is that it's so much when you become brand new, but what I believe that you got to do, folks, is you got to focus on what is the income producing activity that's going to reap your reward. Definitely learning the MLS, identifying if you're going to be a buyer's agent, if you're going to be a seller's agent, if you're going to be a commercial agent, if you're going to be a multifamily agent, if you're going to be a new construction agent, identifying what type of agent that you're going to be. So let's go ahead and let's dive into the MLS. Has anyone, once again, drop your Instagrams in the room so we can learn who everyone is. But also, has anyone used the MLS just yet? Anyone has logged on to the MLS, used it? Anyone? Anybody with me? Awesome. Kiana, Tiffany, got Joseph's Instagram. Make sure your pages are not private. That's just so weird when you're a business owner and your page is private. It's like, how do I see what you're doing? That's rule number one. One of the agents listed a property yesterday and I wanted to advertise it. I wanted to share it with someone and her page was private. I'm like, why is your page private? Like, how am I supposed to share your listing? How am I supposed to share your success? All right, so what we're gonna do is first and foremost is learn your MLS ID number. Everyone, as of today, if you haven't learned your MLS ID number yet, learn that because you're gonna need that. You're gonna need that for scheduling showings. You're gonna need that for speaking to people. You're gonna need that at the guard gate. You're gonna need that when you're on the phone. Sometimes people are gonna ask you, what is your MLS number? What is your license number? So this is your license number that's used in Palm Beach, used in Port St. Lucie, used in Miami and all around. So always remember your license number. So someone's license number probably starts with a 330, 335, 325, 336, something like that. Your number starts with. So write that number down and memorize it. Know it just like you know your cell phone. All right, so the first thing you're going to do when you go into the MLS is you're going to see the dashboard here. If you guys haven't taken the MLS dashboard, I definitely advise that you do take that course because what it truly teaches you is what are these little icons here for. So it's called the MLS dashboard. So what we're going to do is we're going to focus on matrix. We're going to focus on matrix. When you do sign up, is there anyone here using Rapatoni as their primary MLS? Any Rapatoni users here? Drop a 2 if you're a Rapatoni user in the chat. All right, good. We got no Rapatoni users. Give me 1 second, folks. All right, no Rapatonis. Hey, that's good. Excited for you to be logging in for your first time. Excited for you to be logging in for your first time. Don't worry about it. All right. We got Councilwoman Linda Julian here. Welcome, Linda. All right, so the first time you're gonna log in, you're gonna go to Matrix, okay? I was just logged in, so that's why it's saying that. I have a listing that I'm actively putting in right now, so it's sending me a little alert. I'm gonna go ahead and skip that. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to work as, and if everyone can do this as we're doing it, I'd love for everyone to actively do this as we're doing it. So if you have logged into the MLS and you're ready to go, you're on my screen, drop a 1 in the chat. All right, we got 1 person ready to go. Anyone else ready to go? Anyone else ready to go? We got another, all right, all right, all right. Okay. All right, looks like everyone's ready to go. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go work as, and we're gonna go to settings. We're gonna go to my information. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna key in our information, folks. We're gonna key in our information. We're gonna double check that the stuff that's in there now is accurate, and the stuff that's not correct, we wanna go ahead and we wanna check override, and we wanna correct that and have the system manually override it. We got the social media king himself, Amari. Amari, drop your Instagram in the chat so people can know how to connect with you. All right, if anyone doesn't have any questions, where is Matrix? I just sent you the link right here. Okay. Then we're going to go to headers and footers. We're going to go ahead and what the headers and footers are, folks. This is when I send a listing out to someone or I print an MLS listing. This is exactly what they're going to see. So they're going to see the top of the form, they're going to see the information, and they're going to see the bottom of the form. So what do I want mine to look like? You can upload your own. So let's say, for example, you have your own banner that you'd love to use. You can go ahead and upload that. Like if you have a secure your future banner that you want to put up there, you can definitely upload that. And then what you want to do is you want to go ahead and you want to put in all your information as here as well. I had a realtor, guys, folks, this is very important that I know we want to make money really fast when we get into the business, but we have to also understand that we need systems and we need organization. Systems and organization. Why is that important? I had an agent that we went on a listing appointment just the other day. She goes to put a listing in the MLS. I'm looking on the websites to make sure the listing is syndicated to all the websites. It's not on Trulia, it's not on Redfin, it's not on some other sites. I said, hey, you got to create your accounts so that your accounts automatically populate your listings so that it shows up on those websites. So due to the Miami MLS, you have access to over 900 websites that your listings are going to syndicate to. But how do they syndicate? How do you go, for example, like myself, if you were to Google right now myself, you would see that I have a lot of accounts already created. Instagram, homes.com, Zillow, Facebook, Rate My Agent, my Linktree, my Twitter, my Match Visor, my Yelp, my Effective Agents, my Home Snaps. My accounts are linked, folks. So once I put a listing into the MLS, it's going to automatically syndicate to those accounts because it's going to pull the information. Because one of the things that you do when you log into those accounts, it's going to say, are you logging in as a professional or are you logging in as a client? And if you're logging in as a professional, it asks you for your license number. It says, what MLS are you a part of? Are you a part of the beaches? Are you a part of Miami? Are you part of the Keys? Because what it's going to do, it's going to filter all your information in there. So if you haven't added it to your list yet, you want to go ahead this weekend and say, hey, I need to create all my websites. Jeff, what are the websites? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send them to you. Okay, so if you need me to send those websites that you need to be in, drop a 3 in the chat right now so I can send you those websites, because you have to understand you never know where your buyer is going to come from. And imagine getting 6%, 7%, or 5%, whatever the commission is. Imagine getting that on a double-sided deal than getting one side. Linda just closed a transaction, folks, 4.5% she took home. Imagine that. She said, man, the amount of work that I put in, I should have charged more. You know, so keep that in mind. Then we're going to go to CMA cover sheet. We're going to key in all our information here. We're going to check that all our information is correct. So what is the CMA cover sheet? This is the comparative market analysis. So if I want to prepare a CMA, which I'm going to show you guys, if I want to prepare a CMA here, so I can go to a listing appointment, I can show the buyers what's the value of the homes in the area. I can go ahead and I can create that through here, okay? All right, then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna do our email signature. So our email signature is gonna show anytime we email property out to anyone, our email signature is gonna be at the bottom of it. So if we have designations such as myself, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna identify those, okay? If we have any acclimates that we want people to know, we're gonna identify those. If we have a slogan, if we have a team name, if we wanna put our license number, anything that you wanna do, you can add this to your email signature. What I literally did was I copied my email signature directly from my actual Google email straight into here, okay? You can add photos if you like. I'm gonna give you guys a second to do that. Then we're gonna go to the next tab, agent web page. Agent web page. I personally don't drive traffic to my Matrix website because I use I have a custom website that I created. If not, then your company may have a website. Your company may have a website. I believe everyone here is with EXP. Drop the brokerage that you're with real quick so we could just take a quick audit. We got the icon agent in here, Madam Sonia Hickman. Marshall, hey. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So the Matrix provides a website for you as well. So if you wanted to use this, you could definitely customize it right here. And then lastly, we have the one home. So the one home is basically what your MLS system is. This is the system that pretty much everyone uses. I speak to my friends in Texas, I talk to my friends in Georgia, and they say we use one home too. It's pretty much the MLS system that we all pretty much use. So what happens is when we send properties to our buyers, to our sellers, to our potential clients, they pretty much look exactly the same. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a quick second and we're gonna key in all of our information that's in here. For anyone that's just joining us, what we're doing is we're doing an intensive MLS basic training. We're gonna make sure that we have all our tabs connected. We're gonna make sure that all our links are activated. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna walk through every single icon together. And I got some all-stars in the room as well. So guys, if you feel that I'm missing something, please go ahead and jump in. For example, Marshall, Sonia, Linda. So if you have a title, okay, some people call themselves the amazing realtor, whatever you want to call yourself, you can put that there. If you have a video that you want people to see, you have the link, you can go ahead and drop that in there. I've always said I wanted to do a video. One day I'll do one. But every real estate professional should have a video done. And it's a video that you're basically just talking about yourself. You're basically saying, hey, your success rate, how you've been able to help people. If you're new to real estate, the division of work that you were in before, and how you've been able to basically be customer centric and really help people out. One day I'm gonna do a video. Do a video one day. I go on YouTube and I see some realtors have videos. Any questions so far, folks? Everyone's been able to complete the tabs up top. Go ahead and type done in the room when you're all done with that. How we doing over there, Joe? Beautiful, Linda. Type done when you're ready for us to move on to the next tab. Sonia, we're under work as, and then we are under settings. Work as settings, then we're under my information. And we're making sure all our information is in there. Yana, you with us? Possibly so, I think.
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the dashboard now, folks. We're going to go back to the dashboard now. And what I'm going to tell you guys to do is wherever you see my listings icon is on your thing, you're going to move it to the top. Wherever it may be right now, it could be at the bottom, wherever it is, you're going to move it at the top. Why, Jeff? Why am I moving it to the top? Because this is where you're going to see your actual production, what you are actually doing. Okay, how many listings do I have? How many properties do I have under contract? How many deals have I closed? How far am I from my goals? How many deals does my company have? We're going to talk about okay to advertise homes, you know? So can I click on my firm's listings and I can see what homes are okay to advertise? Okay, so we're going to move that over to the top first and foremost. And then what we're going to do, we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of stuff. And then I'm going to come back into here and I'm going to talk to you guys exactly about what concierge is for, which I think is extremely essential. I'm going to tell you why do I enjoy, I'm talking about it right now. Why do I enjoy the recent one-home visitors? Because whenever I email properties over to the client or the customer, I can automatically see what time they opened the email and if they opened the email or didn't. So guess what? It provides a follow-up opportunity. So let's say, for example, I'm working with Julie right now, right? And I'm excited to work with Julie. And I know that we got to go see some properties. And I just emailed her some stuff. And I'm going to say, hey, Julie, just wanted to double check to see if you have an opportunity to check the email. She's going to say, yes, she did. I'm going to say, hey, what did you think about it? Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to re-educate her on what she can do with those properties that I showed her. So there's 3 things that they can do with the properties, okay? They can heart them. As far as they hearting them means that they like them, they love them, they want to see them. They can put a question mark on there, which means that they have some questions that they want to ask you about the property. You automatically know that you can ask those questions. They can throw them in the trash, which means disgusting, I don't like it, I don't want to even see it, okay? Why is the trash essential? The trash is essential because it lets me know what the customer is not interested in. So now if I was to go back and say, man, she threw 4 houses in the trash, let me go back and educate myself so I'm not wasting my time emailing this customer properties that she's not interested in, or even showing her properties that she's not interested in. So what am I going to do? I'm going to see, hey, maybe a lot of these homes are inside of HOAs. Maybe a lot of these homes had 2-car garages and she wants a 1-car garage. Maybe none of these homes have pools and she likes houses that have pools. So now on the outskirts, I'm able to learn about the customer. And then lastly, what she's going to be able to do, which is the 4th option, is she's going to be able, or he's going to be able to actually write remarks on there that I can actually respond to. And once I write those remarks, they will go back to her, okay? Or him. Lastly, let's say, for example, they say, no, they haven't opened the email. I'm just like, you kind of did. So what does it do? It provides a follow-up opportunity for me that I want to show you guys here. I want to show you guys here what I did with the follow-up opportunity. You guys saw, I emailed Chris. He opened it at 5:29, 7:36. Hey, Chris, what did you think of the email? He hasn't responded to me yet, so that means he's kind of probably didn't spend a lot of time looking at it. Or maybe he's probably still hasn't decided on what he wants to do next. But guess what? I know he opened the email. Then I have another person here that I know she opened the email. So I went ahead and I texted her. And I said, hey, what did you think of the properties that I sent you? She just got off of work. She's going to take a second look at them. That is exactly true. She opened them at 4:39. So now I know later on today, she's going to look at them again. And guess what? The system's going to tell me when she looks at those properties again. And now I'm able to do a second follow-up with her. Okay. All right. So now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of things. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get back over here and I want to show you guys what the other tabs are for. So the number one thing you really need to know is how do I search the MLS? I have a buyer that's looking to buy a $500,000 property. a pool, a 2-car garage. They want to be in West Miramar. So what I'm going to do is this MLS provides me a couple of options. I can do an RE1, RE2 search. RE1 is for your single family. RE2 is for your condos, your co-ops, and your townhomes. I can do an income producing property, which is a multifamily, be 2 units, 3 units, 4 units. Remember, anything that's 5 doors or more is considered commercial. I can search land for here if I have a buyer that's looking to buy a piece of land. Like we have a couple of buyers that are looking to buy land. Elon's working with a guy for $2 million that's looking to buy land, and he wants to put multi-families on there. I can do a rental search. So let's say, for example, there's a customer that's out there and they're looking for a rental. I can do some commercial stuff on here as well. I can search business opportunities. So what is a business opportunity? Business opportunity is when someone is selling the business, but not the building. Okay, so let's say, for example, you walked into a hair salon right now and they say, hey, Linda, I want to sell my salon. You say, great. Do you own the building? And do you own the salon? No, Linda, I don't own the building, but I own the salon. So what you automatically know, folks, is that you're going to be selling just the business and not the building. Bridget has a land referral. Yes, we are recording. I'm recording, correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
I have a question, Jeff.
Talk to us.
So how does it work when you're selling a business? Like, how does that commission structure work? Is it similar to selling a house?
It's similar to selling a commercial property. So the commission can go anywhere from 5% to 10%. Sometimes I even see 12%. But it's the same way. You put it on the MLS, you put the business opportunity on there. You have to understand about the profit and loss. You have to understand, are they selling the name as well? Are they selling all the assets that are inside the business? Are they also selling the book of clientele, which is the database? You have to truly understand. You have to take an inventory sheet of what are they selling, because now this is a opportunity to either market it up or come in a lot lower. If you're looking at the profit and loss and the business is not making any money, like I had a guy call us one time, I think this was like 2011. A guy called us to sell his computer store. But guess what? He didn't keep proper books. He had people pay him cash. He didn't document stuff. He didn't have an inventory sheet of his equipment. So we really had people that were coming here and looking at the business, but they were like, hey, show us the profit and loss. Show us the inventory sheet. Show us the database. And we really didn't have that. So you got to understand, when someone wants to sell a business, especially if you're helping them to find a place. So let's say, for example, folks, you have a customer and you're helping them find a salon. You're helping them find a barbershop. You're helping them find a car wash. You're helping them find a dump or maybe a body shop. You want to tell them, hey, I don't know what your vision is for the next 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years. But what you want to do is you want to make sure you document everything, create systems, because the systems are what you're going to now be able to sell. Okay, I heard Claudia and Linda talking about going to Lorna's next week. So let's say, for example, the Lorna's name, they want to sell the name. That's value right there. But if I don't have proper books, I don't have an Instagram, for example, so I can keep a track of my clientele and the people that are coming to my page and my engagement, that's losing out. Okay, so going back to RE1. So let's say, for example, I'm working with a customer. Okay, what you're going to see here on this side is you're going to see active, which means it's available for sale. You're going to see coming soon, which means it's coming to the market, but it's not yet available to be shown. You're going to see active with contract. That means they have accepted an offer, but they're still taking backup contracts. So let's say, for example, the first contract falls through, the buyer gets a little cuckoo, can't close. The seller has backup offers. Canceled listings mean that the seller has officially signed a cancellation agreement with the listing agent. Close means that the property has already been closed. Congratulations to Sonia. She had a couple of closings today. Linda had a closing today. Drop them some flyers in the room, y'all. You got pending. So pending means that it's under contract and it's pretty much a done deal. Everything's clean. Everything's ready to go. You got rented. So let's say, for example, the home has already been rented. Temporary off the market means that the seller has not fired the realtor, but they're just taking their time to get the property back on the market. Maybe they're fixing some stuff. Maybe they're just trying to identify some things. So they temporarily took it off the market. Withdrawn means that it's not coming back on the market, but guess what? They have a contract with that brokerage. They have a contract with you, the realtor, and they can't list it with anyone else until they cancel them. And then expired. Expireds are great for prospecting, cold calling. That means that the listing is no longer available for sale. The realtor wasn't able to get the seller to the finish line, and now it's available for grabs. So if I'm doing a property search, what I love to do, folks, is I never like to send my customers. I don't know about Marshall or Sonia in here. I never like sending my customers active under contract. I'm not going to spend time calling a realtor and say, hey, I see it's under contract, but are you guys taking backups? I'm not going to even get my buyer excited on seeing homes that are not available. So I automatically uncheck this. Then let's say, for example, I got a buyer. He's a basketball player from Texas, like Amari. He wants a house up to 700,000. He says, no, actually, Amari, we're gonna come back to you. Tell me about that buyer you got that's working with the agent. Stephanie?
Okay, I figured you're talking to me.
Yeah, just drop it in here.
I need to follow up. I'm gonna follow
What
up.
up, E?
No, tell me what he's looking for. Let's use that as an
Oh, yeah, he's looking for a 3-bed, 2-bath. He wants a waterfront, so it could either be a river or a lake situation, and he wants it by like Miramar, West Miramar, and a pool.
What's his price range?
He said he was gonna get me with the agent, but he never did. I know I have
Give
to
me an
follow
example.
up.
Give me an example.
Huh?
Give me an example. 800, 900, 700.
You told me that it should be around 750, and when I looked at the financials, it looks like it is about that price.
All right, perfect. All right, good. So we got a buyer. He's excited. He wants to buy. He wants a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, as you guys heard her. He wants waterfront. So what I did was I hit yes here. He wants a pool. I hit yes again for pool. Okay. She told me that he wants Miramar, Pembroke Pines. I'm going to show you guys how to do that in a couple of ways. And then he wants to be up to $800,000. So let's say, for example, someone says that they want to spend a max. They want to spend a max $800,000. What I'm going to always do is I'm going to always push the needle up a little bit. I'm going to go 820, 830, maybe 850, depending on who I'm dealing with. Because what I want to do is I want to negotiate the best deal for them. But B, I want to show them what's out there. Because my goal is to show them the best homes. Look, there you go. There you go. Sonia knows. So I'm going to push it up. So this gentleman here says he wants to go up to 750. I'm going to go up to 800. Because there could be an opportunity where that $800,000 house he likes, and if I didn't ever show it to him, we'd be right back on the road looking at more houses come next weekend. Okay, so 3 bedrooms, 2-bath. So what you notice I did a plus sign here. So what does the plus sign symbolize? That means 3 bedrooms or more. So if I need to find him a 4-bedroom, a 5-bedroom, anything that's going to come up within the $800,000 price range is what I want to search. Okay. Or I can do, if he says I don't want nothing more than a 3-bedroom, then what I could do is I could do 1 to 3 bedrooms. Okay. And that means only 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, and 3 bedrooms are going to show up only. But who's not going to take a 4-bedroom or a 5-bedroom if they can for $800,000? 2 bathrooms or more. Sometimes there's half a bath. Sometimes there's 3 bathrooms. So I went ahead and did a plus sign there. I normally leave half a baths alone because I've already killed the bird right here with the plus sign. Okay. She didn't say anything about a garage, so that's going to be left blank. But what she did tell me was that he wants a pool. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit yes for pools. Okay. But what I'm going to tell you guys, for the ones that you guys that are new, sometimes people say they want a pool and they end up buying a house without a pool. Sometimes they say they want a lake and they end up buying a house without a lake. So what I would like to do is I want to call myself the advisor. So we was identifying who ourselves were earlier today. Were we the realtor? Were we the real estate agent? Were we the realtor concierge? Were we the real estate advisor? Were we the realtor advisor? I like to call myself an advisor because what I like to do is I like to educate the person as well as getting to know what they like and what they don't like. Okay. So what I may do is I may say, man, he said he wanted to be in Pembroke Pines, or Miramar. So what I did here was I selected the city that he was interested in. And what I'm gonna do is, how do I add additional cities? If you're using an Apple product, you hit the command button and you select all the additional cities that you want. Anyone not on an Apple product, I really don't know what to do, but I'm gonna think that you hit a plus sign. Anyone not on an Apple that can help me out here, that's experienced?
It should be control.
Okay, perfect. You hit control, and that's gonna allow you to hit Pembroke Pines and Miramar. Did you say any other cities?
No, that's about it.
Perfect. So guess what? 0 to 800, 3 bedrooms, two baths, waterfront with a pool. Guys, did you see I only had 9 options here? Exactly. So what I may want to do is I may want to take out the pool, can't afford that. And that's going to give me 22 options. I may want to take the waterfront out. That's going to give me 78 options. And what I'm going to do is, that's why I love buyer's consultations. Because I've actually, the last part of my buyer's consultations, folks, is we get into the MLS. And I say, hey, let's search the MLS. And just as we did, I'll say, so you say you want to spend $400,000. I'm going to go 0, 400,000. You say you want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. I'm going to drop that in there. You say you want to be in Pembroke Pines. So what I actually do is I don't actually select the city. I click on the map right here. And if they tell me that they want to be in West Broward, or they want to be in North Broward, or they want to be in Kendall, they want to be in South Miami, what I do is I select the map. And then with the map, what I do is I can use polygon, I can use rectangle, or I can use the radius. I love using the polygon because, let's say, for example, someone says they want to be in West Miramar. I simply just draw the box out of what West Miramar looks like, for example. And I show them all the homes in there right through the consultation, folks. So then they're exactly able to see what homes are going to be available for us to tour. Okay. So going back here, we got 78 options. But let's say, for example, we wanted to stick to what the gentleman wanted. We got 9 options. I'm going to go to results. And I am, folks, please listen to me as I tell you the next tip. Go through the home search. HOA, HOPA, good one. Thank you for that. HOPA, Housing of Older Personal Authorities, 55 plus. So what you guys want to always do is always select no for HOPA unless you know that they're 55 plus. And you're going to be taking them over to Century Village. You're going to be taking them over to one of those older communities, Winmore. You're going to be taking them over to Park Place, one of those places. So always make sure you turn HOPA off to no, because now it just gave us 8 searches, 8 results. I'm going to go ahead and hit results. And as I said, folks, always make sure you go through the searches. Don't just select everything and send it to the people, because what it's going to show is that A, you don't care, and B, you didn't even take the opportunity to learn what I just told you. I want a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, 2-story on a lake with a pool, and you just sent me 1 stories, 1-car garages, no lakes, no pools. We literally, folks, lost a customer like that. Let me audit the room real quick. We literally lost a customer like that because he said the agent that you referred me to was just sending me stuff from the MLS, and it was nothing what I wanted. Okay, so guys, starting today, even for my experienced people, go through what you're looking at, because you want to be acclimated with the home as well. Imagine the guy calls you in 5 minutes and says, man, I love the home that was beige with a 2-car garage, and you're like, what are you talking about? Okay, talk to us, Marshall.
Okay, Jeff, I'm sorry. So I have a client that doesn't have a high price point. There's not a whole lot of stuff in the area. I want to stay connected throughout. So what I did was, the first search like gave me 11 homes. I told them, listen, there are 11 in this search. I'm sending you everything, because there are going to be some days that you don't get anything, and I don't want you to think that I'm not looking, but I'm taking out those things that I would not select. and I leave a note, letting them know. And then on the weeks that nothing comes, I text him, hey, I'm looking this week, nothing has popped up. Have you seen anything in like you're driving around that you want to look at? What else can I do in that case?
I think you made a valid point that I want to cover. So why does she send them everything? So let's talk about that. The reason she sends them everything is because what she wants to do is she wants to bring a light bulb into their mind. The light bulb is going to be like, man, I got $400,000. I want to be in Davie. Ain't no homes in Davie for $400,000. I need to now reconsider maybe a co-borrower, maybe changing my city, maybe increasing my purchase price. So that's an avenue that you can take right there. And then number two, what you're also doing is you're also showing the customer that you're working for them. But as we notice in the comments right here, my closing today told me exactly that. The last agent, all they did was send homes. People really don't like that. And guys, remember what I told you earlier, that we all use the same system? I literally was showing a client one of my listings, and I said, let me send you what else is in the area for sale. I tried to email her and it says this client has unsubscribed from one home. So I said, hey, you unsubscribed. She said, yeah. I said, were you working with a realtor before? She said, yeah. She said, the realtor just kept emailing me homes if I unsubscribed. So guess what? Now I can't email her. So I had to get another email address. So I can email her. So don't spam people even through homes, okay? Now, to answer her question, Marshall, what should you do? I think it's an open to have a Jesus moment, which is what we like to call it. And a Jesus moment is a moment to really identify, how can we get the price point increase? Can we bring on a co-borrower? Do they have a 401k that they can tap into? Maybe we can look into other cities. Sometimes, hey, they can't afford a single family home right now. We got to get them into a townhome, villa, condo, okay? Or we got to say, hey, what can we do to make your home ownership goals a reality? You know, and that's why I love doing the buyer's consultation and truly showing them what's available. Because, like, for example, if we're supposed to be with your gentleman, we would have pulled 8 homes. And he'd have been like, man, that's it. That's all we got. So either he's going with one of the 8 homes, or we got to raise the price point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the home search and I'm going to look at the homes. And I'm going to say, hey, and I always tell my buyers this, regardless of the price point, $200,000, $100,000 price point, $1 million, I would never sell anything to you that I wouldn't live in myself. And I've literally done that. When I do show property, I'll walk in and I'll say, I don't like it. And I'll walk right out. And I want them to walk out with me. Because it's garbage. It's really garbage, you know? And there's a lot of garbage out there now, especially for like $400,000 or $500,000. It's a crazy market right now. So let's say, for example, I've looked at this home. This home seems to have everything that he's looking for. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit this selection button right here. Then I'm going to go to the second home. Folks, I really don't read the remarks unless I have to. So what are some identifying reasons why I have to? If, for example, I know I'm dealing with an area that has a membership fee. So if I'm in Boca, if I'm in Port St. Lucie, I'm in Wellington, I'm in Palm Beach, some of those have membership fees, folks. So what are membership fees? Those are when there's a community clubhouse, there's a golf course, there's a tennis court, there's some type of amusement that they get that they have to pay into. And sometimes just being on one side of the street versus being on the other side of the street makes a huge difference. Y'all know Silver Lakes, Miramar, Silver Lakes, Pembroke Pines, prime example. But what is a membership? That means that they have to pay a $90,000 fee before they move in, sometimes a $30,000, sometimes a $45,000. So that's the only time that I would really look at it. I don't know about the rest of the experienced people here, but when I really dive into reading the information, reading the broker remarks, was extremely important, is when they say, hey, Jeff, I want to see this house. Before I schedule the appointment, I want to read all the remarks. I want to read stuff about the roofs. I want to read the stuff about what if it says cash only. I want to read stuff about owner financing available. I want to read that, hey, there's a minimum requirement as far as a credit score. There's a minimum down payment. I want to read that There's a post occupancy that's needed, okay? So I'm gonna always read the remarks when it comes time to actually scheduling the home. Then I'm gonna glance at everything else. If my buyer's FHA and I don't see FHA in here, I'm not gonna send it to him or her. If my buyer's VA and I don't see VA here, I'm not gonna send it to them. I'm gonna show you guys how to tailor the search as well to do that. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get acclimated with the taxes. These taxes are $12,000. If you guys see that? So guess what? I'm gonna warn my buyer that there's a difference, folks, between buying this house with a $12,000 tax bill that's gonna go up next year because taxes are paid in arrears versus buying this house for $794 and the taxes are $6,000. Okay? So guess what? Guess what? Just because a home is more money, that doesn't mean that their mortgage is going to be more than a house that's cheaper. I love to share that with my buyers because sometimes they think that the $400,000 house mortgage is a lot more than the $325,000 house. But guess what? The $325,000 house has an $8,000 tax bill, and the $400,000 house, the homeowner has lived in there since 1970, and the taxes are $1,700. The lady that was living in my house before I moved in here, she had been living here since 1973. The tax bill was $1,700. I was super excited to pay that. The following year, it went up $6,000, $7,000, but the previous year, it was $1,700. Me, I didn't even look at the tax when I went to buy the house, but you have to watch that for your people that you know that could be actually money for. If their taxes go up, their insurance goes up, their HOA goes up, not gonna be able to afford the home. So you have to be able to educate yourself on that. We heard Marshall say she reads everything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and send him this home because it came up in our little search of 8. But I'm gonna make a mental note to myself that, hey, John, I know we're looking at this house, but the tax bill is $12,000. Because guess what? I don't want John to go to closing, be all excited, and then the closer says, oh, taxes are $12,000. He's like, huh? Because he done got all excited with you. Or the lender gave you specific requirements. Taxes can't be more than $6,000. HOA can't be more than $200. And now I got a buyer excited on a home that I know he can't qualify for. Okay? So I'm going to send it to him. It has a pool. It's on the lake just like he wanted. I'm going to go through the next home and do the same exact thing. Okay? If this home fits my buyer's criteria, I'm going to go ahead and check it off. I'm going to just go ahead and continue doing the same thing. Okay? Then what I'm going to do is the homes that I selected that he is interested in, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of things. I'm going to either email it to him or her, or if we're about to get ready to go on tour, I'm going to print them out. Okay? So I'm going to email them to him. Okay? And then you can copy yourself on here if you want to see the email go out, because sometimes you want the email to go out because you want to click the link that it may send to your email and shoot it to them as a text message, because they might say, hey, I didn't get it because it went to their spam. Or you may want to have the email copied to you so that, let's say, for example, he does call you back and say, hey, I'm interested in that house with the $12,000 tax bill. You can automatically go into your email now. You can pull it up. You can search it as you speak to them on the phone. Or you can just not copy yourself on there, okay? I'm going to drop a subject. Homes for sale in Pembroke Pines. I've already created my email signature. I'm a professional. I have an email signature. And I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to hit send. Okay? It just alerted me that the email went through. But let's say, for example, I wanted to print these homes out because we're about to go on tour, okay? Is everybody with me? Drop a 1 in the chat if you're still with me. Beautiful, beautiful. You guys learning something? Beautiful, beautiful. All right. Lenders give specific $400,000 for your full. Homes can't be listed for over $370 to keep the DTI down. Exactly. All right. There's a bug in my house, y'all. Ugh. All right, cool. Let's say, for example, we want to go ahead and we want to go ahead and tour these properties. I'm gonna always print out two sets of copies. I'm gonna print out the agent full view, which is this one, because this is the one that's gonna give me everything that I want to know. It's gonna give me who the listing agent is, what company are they with, what's the commission that they're paying out. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select for my client either the single line or the 8 view or the client full view, whichever one you desire to work with. I normally do the client 8 view, okay? But you can pick whichever one you want to work with, just as we heard Miss Sonia say earlier today. Just click on it. You can't do nothing wrong, okay? So, and if you want to preview what you're about to print out, let's go ahead and hit print to PDF so we can preview it. And this is what the full view is going to look like, which is the agent full view. Guys, never give the full view agent to your customer because it has the listing agent's information here. Never give that to your customer. Imagine you go on tour, you think you had an amazing day, took them out to lunch, spend all your last money, repump gas in your car. And then the next day they tell you they're under contract and you're like, with who? I called the listing agent. Okay. All right. So this is the 8 view client one. I like to print this out because as you can see, everything here is branded to me. My name's on everything here. So they have no choice but to call me. It tells them about the taxes. It lets them know about the HOA. It lets them know what the lot size of the home is. It provides the remarks. Hold on. Go ahead, Linda.
Okay, I just want to make sure, never give the agent full view because that's the one that has the other realtor's contact info.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay, I love to do the 8 view. I like to print it in color to give it to the customer. You can do whichever you like. Some people actually save it to their phones and they share it as a link to the people. Or you can do lastly what's called the client view. So this is the client view, but what's the difference between this one and the full view is that you don't see the agent's information. Why do I not like using this one? Because what happens is when you're showing your buyers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 properties, they're not going to remember, but they're going to remember pictures. They're going to remember colors, So this is why I personally use this one. I don't know if Sonia or Marshall uses a different one. Okay. And then now that I got all my stuff ready, we're good to go for the tour. We're ready to go now. Okay. And that's how you do a real estate search. Okay. For a buyer that's looking to buy. Okay. So we went through email, we went through print. If we wanted to create a CMA, so let's say, for example, we're working with a seller's presentation here, and we want to make a CMA presentation. We want to show them all the comps in the area. We can click on CMA. It's going to generate everything for the person as a full presentation. We can definitely do that in a different segment. Okay. Let's say, for example, I wanted to schedule showing time. So if you guys haven't set up your showing time yet, you want to go ahead and set up your showing time, and you also want to set up your showing lead. Okay. That's how you schedule showings to see properties. Okay. So if anyone wants to see properties and they say, hey, schedule through the MLS, whenever they say schedule through the MLS, that means you're going to jump onto showing lead, or you're going to jump onto
Showing time.
there you go, showing time. All right. And then after that, if you're creating another presentation and you want to create, you want to export the information out, you can hit export. We can show you guys that in another day as well. I love that portion too. And then if I need directions, okay, if I want to go, so I use showing time for directions, but you can use the MLS or you can use showing time. What do you mean, Sonia?
Showingly or Showtime?
Oh,
What's
yeah.
the difference?
It depends on which one that the person is using. So showingly, the MLS actually owns it. Okay, the Miami MLS actually owns that one. So that's their own showing system. Showingly was purchased by, Showing Time was purchased by someone. Either Zillow purchased it or Keller Williams purchased it. Somebody purchased it. So it's actually owned by someone. But a lot of agents still use Showing Time rather than Showingly.
I have never ever used Showingly. I always use Showtime. Never ever.
It depends what the listing agent is set up on. So
Just did, we were all against Zillow, so that's when people started switching to Showingly.
But see, you know what? I don't know if I've ever ran into a situation. How can I tell if they're using Showingly?
Zillow owns Showing Time. Thank you,
Okay.
Mark. How can you tell? You'll see the icon. So sometimes you'll see both icons, but if you click on it, and it doesn't let you schedule, or it does let you schedule,
Oh,
then
I've never seen that before, Jeff.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's like Matrix versus Rapatoni. A lot of agents use Matrix, but you have the option to choose. Do you want to use Rapatoni or do you want to use Matrix? No Rapatoni users in here, right?
Mm-mm.
All right, cool. So we spoke about directions. So if you want to know direction, so there's a couple of ways to show properties. You can go by the directions because you want to be gas smart, right? You want to go from west to east, or you want to go from south to north, or you want to start where your house is down to where your house ends. You may want to do that. But what I like to do, which I heard Frank Gold likes to do something a little bit different, we're going to talk about it right now, is you can do a couple of things. You want to group your homes, folks, that you're going to be showing people either from worse to good as far as condition, or from good to worse. So why, Jeff? Why am I going to show them the worst house first? Because what I want to do is I want to get that distasteful taste out of their mouth. And then now what they're going to do is they're going to be able to get that off their list automatically. And now everything else that I'm showing them is good. So now when we get to the $800,000 property, and that's the best home that's out there, they're going to be like, man, everything else was garbage. I got no choice but to go with this one. Or you can do the reverse. You can show the best home first and the worst after. The same goes for rentals, same goes for commercial, same goes for land, same goes for townhomes and condos and co-ops and villas. Because what they're going to do now is if I show you the best home, the best taxes, the best HOA, the best renovations, then I go and I show you a B home, then I show you a C home, then I show you a D home. Guys, what do you think is going to happen? Who can tell me?
Indecisive clients, confused.
Not really, not really. What's going to happen though is that they're going to continue to compare every other home to the A home, to the first home you showed them. Because the first home had the pool, had the lake, had the 3 bedrooms, the 2 bath, was $750, had a $6,000 tax break or tax fee, and everything else is mediocre, not renovated, outdated, original, 1997 roof. And now what you do is you got a winner. You got a winner. I love to use the 0 to 10 scale. And I always ask them that. I always say, what do you rate this home? 0 to 10. I automatically know if we're anywhere at a 6, 7, 8, 9, we're putting an offer on it. I automatically know because I'm writing notes too, as they're writing notes. That's why I love to give them the handouts. Or some people use the colors. Is it a green? Is it a red? Is it yellow? Okay. So create your system. What is your system that you're going to use when you're showing rentals, when you're showing buyers and sellers? Because what that's going to do is it's going to not only identify what you're not going to waste your time on, but it's also going to make it a little bit fun. I love when we walk into a home, and when we start walking into our third, fourth home, the buyer's already saying, nah, this is a 6. Nah, this is a 9. Nah, Jeff, this is a 1. And now we're having fun on the tour. We're only looking at 4 or 5 homes, really. Okay. Now, there's a next tab here that's called Refine. And what the Refine is, let's say, for example, I have 3 homes that are selected here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to narrow the search down. And what it's going to do is going to eliminate all the other stuff that I don't want. Because they're no longer a concern. They're no longer a subject of matter. We shouldn't be discussing them. Okay? Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the homes that my buyer does not want, and I'm going to toss those away by hitting discard. Okay? Or I'm going to send it to them directly from here if they want me to. Or I'm going to do save. So why do I like save? Because right from here, I'm going to create what I call concierge mode. Okay? New auto email. Right from here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to plug the customer in. Okay. And this is another thing that I'm not going to do, folks. Part 2 of our segment now is I am not going to put it on automatic. I am going to always use concierge mode. Always use concierge mode. We heard earlier, Marshall said that she sends them automatically because her buyer is a particular situation. There's no homes out there. The buyer is not realistic, or the buyer is just eager to get a home, but just due to where the market is right now, we're not able to get them a property. Okay? But a buyer that I know they're in a good price point, I know there's a home out there for them, I know that I may need to raise their price point eventually, I'm going to put on concierge because what concierge is going to allow me to do is going to allow me to do the search for them with the homes that are being emailed to me each and every single day. Okay, so what's going to happen is I understand my buyer's looking for this. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to approvals. I'm going to go ahead and send him these homes. And what's going to happen is I sent him the homes that I know he or she's interested in. But guess what? Come tomorrow, if there's homes that are $800,000 to $900,000 and they fall into his price range, they fall into exactly what he's looking for, it's going to pop up right here on my concierge mode. Some of these people, they just fallen by the wayside. Some of these people are just non-realistic. So what I do is I don't really turn people off on hear me. I leave them here because it provides me an opportunity to follow up with them. Okay? So, like for example, Sheila, man, I haven't spoken to Sheila in about 4 weeks. Let me call Sheila. Let me see what's up with her. Or I may not have hit her with an email in the last 2 to 3 days. Let me shock her real quick and let me hit her with an email today to let her know that I'm still alive. I'm still searching for homes for her. There you go. Exactly, Marshall. Exactly. Okay, so like what it does is every morning it's going to send me an email search. This buyer, Simon, he's a doctor. I met him through actually my car business, but he just hasn't pulled the trigger yet. He's from New York. He returned the vehicle to me and he says, I want to be on the water somewhere and I want to spend at least $2 million. So every now and then I'll hit the system up and I'll go through the homes from concierge and I'll see exactly what I think Simon may like. And I'll just click the ones I think he's interested in. And then I'll hit approve selected. So that means all the homes that I have approved to be going out to him are now going to go out to him. And anything else that I don't want to go out to him, I know he's not going to like it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reject it. You guys with me? Okay. And that's what concierge mode is. I highly recommend you use that as soon as you start working with a customer, because it's going to make your job a lot easier. It's going to automatically do the search for you based on what they're looking for. It's going to automatically give you an assignment. So my daily routine, when I wake up each and every morning, I normally wake up, I do some stuff, I go to the gym, I come back home. Before I get on the role play, I go right through my concierge mode. I search to see who do I need to send homes to. I send them their homes. I'll text them and say, hey, I just emailed you some homes, and I move on with my day. Okay. The only bad thing about concierge mode is that it's daily. It's daily. So let's say, for example, a Redfin home hits the market, a Zillow home hits the market, and you're not on the computer watching it as it comes on the market. Your buyer, if they're set up to Zillow, realtor.com, Redfin, they're going to get the alert off of there. But guess what? The following day, when you go to clean up your list, it's going to pop up there. So maybe what you may want to do is you may want to check your list twice a day, in the morning, at night. Okay? So look, test. I went ahead and I sent them an email. I know that. So these are the people that I've recently communicated with. I recently sent them some emails. Okay? People that I'm actively working with. Okay? This person hasn't opened the email up since 6/17. That means I haven't sent them anything. This person right here actually closed a long time ago, but she's in the system. So guess what? This is an opportunity for me to now touch bases with her and say, hey, how's everything going? Okay. This person could be curious to see what's coming on the market. They could be thinking of selling already, or they could just be seeing what's going on for maybe a friend or family member that's thinking about buying. But it's an opportunity for another touch point. This buyer right here, we're going to go look at homes during the open house. Okay. So now what we're going to talk about, and I'm going to end exactly at 9:30, maybe before, is I'm going to talk about the hot sheet. Okay. So the hot sheet. So let's say, for example, you want to target a particular area, maybe for your buyer, maybe for an expired listing, maybe for an investor that you're working with, or maybe for yourself, you desire to live in a particular area. Okay. You're going to go ahead and you're going to go to hot sheet and you're going to go to customize. Okay. You're going to hold on. Oops, that was supposed to happen. All right. I just messed up my hot sheets. I didn't see the add button. That's what confused me, but I'll just do it again. So I'm going to go to add. I'm going to create a brand new hot sheet. Okay. It's going to be some single family homes, and I'm going to name it West Broward County, for example. Okay. I'm going to hit save. Now this is officially here, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit the criteria. And what do I want in this West Broward area? I may want to know the expireds that are here. I may want to know what's temporarily off the market. I may want to know what's rented. I may want to know what's coming on the market or back on the market. Okay. I may want to be in a particular price range. Okay. I love personally the hot sheet because what I'm watching for is I'm watching for canceled and expireds in that particular area. So let's say, for example, I forgot the area. Let's say, for example, I live in Walden Park, for example. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do expireds. I'm going to do cancels. I may do withdrawals in this particular area. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I can either map it up with the zip code or I can map it up with the location. So let's say, for example, I want all the properties that expire within a mile from here, canceled and withdrawn. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create that sheet based off of that. Okay. Because I have a particular buyer that wants to be only in that area. So anything that comes new to the market is going to automatically come to me. I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit done. I'm going to go down to my hot sheet. And now it's gonna show me what's a withdrawn listing that happens to fall within 1 mile of that area. Okay, as you saw right there. Okay, so now I can even target, I can target the realtor. I can call the I can call the realtor, I can call the listing agent, I can call anyone, or I can call the homeowner if it's a cancel or expired. Okay, your hot sheet should be created for sellers you want to work with, areas you want to target, buyers that want to be in a particular area. So my buyer only wants to be in Cooper City because of the schools. My buyer only wants to be in Parkland because of the school. My buyer only wants to be in Coral Gables because of the schools. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a hot sheet off of that, because every day it's going to show me all the activity. And honestly, I could have highlighted all of these, because I want to be the market expert. For example, you know how people be dropping those YouTube videos, and they're saying in the last 30 days we had 600 homes come on the market, 3 were sold, 10 sold above list price. That's because they created the hot sheet that's providing them that information, and now they became the market expert of that area. Okay, so if you're looking for something to post on your Instagram, your TikTok, here it is right here. You can literally do the whole MLS and create what's new. And every day it's going to tell you what homes are new to the MLS. Okay. That's the hot sheets. I gotta remember to clean mine back up. I messed it up. Okay. Go ahead, Marshall. Marshall, you have your hand up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, thanks so much, Jeff. I couldn't get the mute. I'm on the phone. So I've never seen this. I was fighting with the hot sheet yesterday, trying to figure out how to get rid of like 5,000 homes and find what I wanted. And I couldn't refine it. I couldn't do anything. Now you have taught, listen, this is what's happening. So can I create a number of hot sheets? Because I saw your hot sheet section had a whole bunch of cities.
Yeah.
So I can create, oh, I'm dead. Oh, I'll be up all night. Oh, this is it.
There you go. There you go. Exactly. So what I had in my hot sheets, actually, I had Monarch Lakes, I had Walnut Creek, I had Sunrise, I had West Broward, I had some other areas. So whatever you want your hot sheet to be, maybe I want to do luxury. I want to know everything that's $1 million plus that comes on the market. I'm going to set up my hot sheet so it can give me that. It's recorded, Sonia. We'll send you the recording. Okay. Now, the next thing that I can do, we got 4 minutes left, is I'm gonna identify my market watch. Okay. My market watch could be just like my hot sheet. Okay. And what it's gonna do, it's gonna show me what is new to the market, what's coming on the market. Okay. These are the homes that are coming on the market. As you guys can see, they're from different cities. Okay. So guess what? I may have a buyer that wants to be in a particular area. Now I'm able to build a relationship with the listing agent and say, hey, I noticed you have a house coming on the market in Hollywood. Tell me about it. I have a buyer that's interested. Okay. I can, with my market watch, I can see what's been canceled, what's been pending. Okay. But once again, I can customize what that report is once again. Okay. Any questions there? eProperty Watch, folks, I really don't use it. I highly recommend. I believe the room is an EXP room right now. So what I definitely recommend is that you use KV Core if you want to do eProperty Watch. What eProperty Watch is, it's an opportunity to provide property values to the homeowner of what their home is valued at. I personally don't like it because the information is a little bit inaccurate. But as a homeowner myself, I have myself set up to that. So every month I get the report. I get on the 14th, the 15th, the 15th, the 16th, the 15th. I get the report. I probably should not have shown my home on the recorded live, but hey, it is what it is. Of what the property values are. Those property values do not seem to be accurate with me, so I personally don't use it, folks. I use KV Core to provide home values, because right in KV Core, folks, you can plug in the people's address. You could have it be set up to when they receive their home values, bi-weekly, monthly, weekly. Okay, so I don't use eProperty Watch for customers, but for myself, I am plugged into there. Let me see what else. We spoke about searches already. So for the search box, if you ever wanted to quickly search something, like I want to search a home. Let me stop doing that. Really stop doing that. I can really just search it right through here. But the reason I have it turned off is because I search right in here. Okay, so that's why I have it turned off. My favorite searches is another thing that you can use. So let's say, for example, you have a particular buyer that you're working with, and it's one of your favorite searches. You can go ahead and you can save it to my favorite search, because whenever they open up the system or whenever the system comes up, it's going to automatically identify that to you guys. Can you guys see my screen? Okay, perfect. It's going to automatically identify that to you. Then what I highly recommend is that these external links here, folks, you really take time and you learn what they are. If you guys are interested, we can definitely do another segment on it. But what I really wanted to do was, I heard a lot of people saying, hey, how do I search homes? How do I search rentals? I got 3 clients I'm working with, okay? And I really wanted to make sure that I showed you guys that. And then these tabs up here are we spoke about this. If you want to know what the stats are for a particular area, what's the average days on market, what's the list versus sales price, you can put that all in here. If you Realtors is a app that you can get personal information from. Like if you want to know what their taxes are, what their phone number is, who bought the property, the same as iMap. Links is the same that we just saw. It's the external links that I definitely recommend that you guys all get familiar with. Finances. So let's say, for example, a buyer wants to know what is his closing cost going to be. You can plug it in here and you can give them an estimate. I love to use my partners, folks. I like to sell real estate. I don't like to do nothing else. So what I love to do is I actually like to do this. If I have a buyer, and once again, he says the house is a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I'm texting the lender right there. I'm saying, hey, John, Jessica likes this house. Can you send me the numbers? So what I'm doing is they're sending me the numbers. I'm sending them the numbers. So by the time we get to the next house, we're already talking about the numbers. Because guess what? I already have my VA team that's on standby, that's writing the offer up. So by the time that I would get to my house, we already have the offer ready. We're already seeing it off. But guess what? If you don't have a team like that, you automatically know what homes you're going to be able to put an offer on once you get home, because you have the information. You already know the numbers with them. You know they like the house. Then another one is a seller's net sheet. If you're going to be meeting with a seller to list the property, you can plug in the numbers here. But just as I said, I love to use my partners. So I love to reach out to a title company and say, hey, I'm working with XYZ. Can you send me these numbers? Or what I do is I use a spreadsheet that I've created myself, that I know what the Florida fees are, what my title companies are. I typically use the same title company over and over again, so I know what their fees are, and I plug that into there. But you can definitely use this, get acclimated with this. This is my favorite part, add edit. That's putting in a listing, baby. So if you're going to be putting in a listing, this is where you're going to be putting it at. Market reports, if you want to know what your company is doing, if you want to know what your production looks like, you can go ahead and look at it there. If you want to know what your office production is looking like, you can go ahead and put it there. Another thing that I wanted to show you guys was the health icon. So a lot of times people are putting in listings into the MLS. You want to go to your name, you want to go into health, you want to go into area maps. Area maps will show you exactly where a home is situated in. So let's say, for example, you wanted to know what area code this particular city was. This area map here will show you. So if I'm putting something on the market in West Miramar, it's going to be 3290, 3280, or 3390, depending on where the road falls. You guys see? All right, so, or let's say, for example, it gets very confusing in Fort Lauderdale, folks. But here's the Fort Lauderdale map. So now I gotta start watching and say, man, is my listing above Oakland Park or south of Oakland Park? And then I gotta pretty much map it. Was it east or west of the turnpike? And now I know what area, because some people search the MLS through areas. So don't put the wrong area in there, because now you're gonna send your listing off to somewhere else and it's gonna be in the wrong area. And guess what? What I love to do as a listing agent that calls expired is I search that. And then when I talk to the seller, I said, man, they didn't even list your property in the right area. Of course you didn't sell it. So make sure you're plugging that in accurately. That's pretty much it, folks, for the basic MLS system that I wanted to teach you guys on. Really spend time on the external links, learn what those are. You can learn where the school zones are. You can learn about 55 plus communities. You can learn about new construction through here. You can learn about SunBiz on here. You can learn about information that you can pass out to your clients from here, what's happening on a local and state level. My condo plans, very important. So let's say, for example, you're working with a condo and they want to know the floor plan. You can literally go here. This is a lot of the newer condos though, but you can literally go here and you can pull the floor plans of the condo. I can pull the floor plan. So now if I'm going on a listing appointment, I'm already familiar with what the unit looks like, and I'm bringing it with me to the listing appointment, and now I look like an expert. It's always gonna be like, that's my unit. I'm like, yeah. How do you think I look versus the next realtor? Okay. So my condo plans is something definitely, my contacts are getting to the end of the day. It's definitely something to mess around with as well. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Please unmute yourself if you have any questions or you have any comments.
That was valuable, Jeff.